Ethan Cole walked into the grand chamber of the Galactic Council. The hall was enormous with high ceilings that reflected light in strange patterns. Alien delegates from dozens of worlds sat in curved rows, watching him carefully. Some were tall and thin, with green skin that shimmered in the light. Others were short and round, with multiple eyes that blinked in different rhythms. Ethan felt their gazes, but he kept his head high. He was the human representative, chosen not just for his calm voice, but for his firm resolve. Humanity had been part of the council for decades. They had traded with dozens of species, shared knowledge, and sometimes even risked their fleets to help others. But lately, things had changed. The council wanted to take control of human colonies near the frontier. They said humans were too aggressive, and that they could not be trusted to follow the rules of interstellar law. Ethan had heard the accusations many times, but he knew the truth. Humans had worked hard to survive on distant worlds. They had built thriving colonies on planets that others considered too dangerous or too barren. "Your expansion is reckless," said a voice from the front. It belonged to the lead Zorath delegate, a tall, thin alien with glowing eyes. "You endanger all species in this sector." Ethan's voice was calm when he replied. "We have expanded carefully. Every colony is sustainable. Every decision has been made with thought. We are not reckless, we are responsible." Some delegates whispered to each other. A few rolled their eyes, but Ethan ignored them. He had learned long ago that the council often underestimated humans. They assumed humans were small, weak, or easy to control. They were wrong. The debate went on for hours. Ethan presented reports, maps, and records showing how human colonies were self-sufficient. He explained the careful planning behind each settlement. He spoke of trade agreements, environmental protections, and emergency support networks. And yet the council continued. They passed a vote to strip humanity of several key frontier colonies. The decision was final. Human ships would no longer have access to some sectors. Trade routes would be cut. Research rights would be limited. Ethan listened quietly. Inside, he felt a mix of anger and disappointment. But he did not show it. He had learned long ago that humans often spoke softly, but acted decisively. When the vote ended, he turned to his aide, Laura Miles. "It is time," he said simply. Laura nodded. She had worked alongside Ethan for years. Together, they had navigated council politics, negotiated treaties, and faced threats that no other human could handle. She understood what he meant. They gathered their datapads and files. Without any shouting or dramatic gestures, Ethan and Laura walked toward the exit. The hall was silent. Alien delegates stared in disbelief. Humans were leaving, not arguing, not threatening, just leaving. The moment Ethan stepped out of the chamber, the council realized something. Humans were no longer asking for permission. They were making their own choice. And for the first time, some delegates felt uneasy. Outside the chamber, the council building stretched over the planet Helion Prime like a glass crystal. Ethan and Laura walked past guards and observers, their faces calm. They moved with purpose, not haste. Humanity had always been clever. They had always survived against odds. And now they were taking a step that no one had expected. Back on Earth, the news spread quickly. The council had voted, and humanity had walked away. People in the United Earth Assembly gathered in the main hall. They listened to the broadcast from Helion Prime. President Caroline Drake stood before them, her face calm but determined. "The council has made its choice," she said. "They believe they can control us. They are wrong. We will no longer be bound by their rules. We will take our place in the galaxy as free humans, responsible for ourselves and our future." The room erupted in applause. Some people cheered, some wiped tears from their eyes. For decades, humans had been part of the council. Some feared that leaving would be dangerous. Others felt pride. Humanity had always valued independence. In the weeks that followed, human fleets began to retreat from council operations. Ships returned to Earth and other core planets. Trade routes were closed and embassies were temporarily shut. To outsiders, it looked like chaos. But inside, humans were preparing. Ethan and Laura oversaw part of the operation. They coordinated fleets, monitored resources, and ensured that colonies were self-sufficient. Scientists restarted projects that had been suspended under council restrictions. These projects involved advanced AI, quantum barriers, and experimental propulsion systems. Humans were not preparing for war. They were preparing to survive and thrive on their own terms. The message to the council was clear. Humans did not need approval. Humans could take care of themselves. Meanwhile, the council tried to understand what was happening. Alien observers reported strange signals from human space. Some trade ships disappeared, only to reappear days later with incomplete logs. Others were never seen again. Panic began to spread quietly. Ethan received reports from the frontier colonies. Everything was in order. Colonists were safe, supplies were adequate, and defense systems were operational. He looked at Laura and said, "They think we are panicking. We are not. We are ready." Laura smiled faintly. She had worked with humans who faced impossible odds and always found a way. She believed in their resilience. On Helion Prime, the council convened emergency meetings. Some members argued that humans would fail without their support. Others feared that humans were stronger than anyone realized. The vote to punish humanity suddenly seemed reckless. The first human fleets arrived near the Sol frontier. They moved quietly, avoiding unnecessary attention. Aliens watching the sensors saw organized patterns, disciplined crews, and advanced technology they had not seen before. Inside the human command centers, Ethan observed everything. He saw the efficiency of human systems, the way AI managed logistics, the speed of communications, the precision of ship movements. Humans were ready for a galaxy that no longer included the council. One evening, as Ethan looked out at the stars, he thought about the first day he had walked out of the council chamber. He remembered the silence, the disbelief, the faint tension in the air. Humans had always been underestimated. That day was no different. But now humans had a choice. They could continue to rely on the council and live under its rules, or they could build their own path. They chose the latter. The galaxy would remember this moment, not as a violent rebellion, not as a war, but as a quiet, decisive step by a species determined to control its own destiny. On Earth, President Caroline Drake addressed the world again. "We are not leaving because we hate the council," she said. "We are leaving because we love our future. Humanity will survive, humanity will grow, and humanity will thrive." In the council chambers across the galaxy, fear began to spread. They had believed humans were weak. They had believed humans would follow orders. They had been wrong. Ethan and Laura worked late into the night. Plans were reviewed, colonies were monitored, and fleets were accounted for. Everything was in order. Humans were not reckless, they were ready. For the first time in history, humanity was truly independent in the galaxy. They had chosen freedom over comfort, self-reliance over guidance, and action over argument. Ethan turned to Laura and said, "The galaxy thinks they control the story, but the story belongs to those who are ready to write it." Laura nodded. "And humans are ready." The stars outside the command window seemed brighter that night. Perhaps it was just the light of distant suns, or perhaps it was the quiet promise of a species that had finally decided to walk its own path. The Galactic Council had made its choice. Humanity had made its own. And the moment humanity walked away, the galaxy would never be the same. After humanity walked away from the Galactic Council, life on Earth changed quickly. The news of their decision spread across every city and settlement. People everywhere were talking. Some were afraid of what the galaxy might do. Others felt proud. Humanity had always valued independence, and now they were showing it to the entire universe. President Caroline Drake called a meeting of the United Earth Assembly. Leaders from every country were present, along with scientists, fleet commanders, and advisors. The room was filled with the quiet hum of anticipation. Everyone wanted to know what would happen next. Caroline spoke with calm authority. "The council believed they could control us. They were wrong. We are capable of taking care of ourselves. Starting today, we will focus on humanity's future. We will strengthen our colonies, protect our fleets, and prepare for whatever may come." Ethan Cole sat near the back of the hall. He had left the council chamber months ago, but now he was back on Earth as an advisor. Laura Miles was beside him, checking her datapad and monitoring communications from the frontier colonies. Both of them knew the work ahead would be difficult. The first step was to recall the fleets. Ships that had been patrolling council space were now ordered to return to Earth and the nearby human colonies. Every ship that arrived was checked, repaired, and prepared for a new purpose. The humans did not want to provoke anyone, but they also did not want to appear weak. In the shipyards of Luna and Mars, human engineers and scientists were busy. They reopened programs that had been paused under council rules. These programs involved advanced AI systems, new propulsion technologies, and defensive shields. The humans worked tirelessly day and night. They did not want the council or anyone else to know exactly what they were doing. Ethan and Laura visited one of the largest research facilities on Mars. The building was massive, filled with labs and test chambers. Scientists were testing energy shields and experimental engines. Robotic drones moved quickly, carrying materials and tools from one station to another. A young scientist, Megan Holt, approached them. "Admiral Cole," she said, using the old title Ethan had earned during his service with human fleets. "We are making progress faster than expected. The new AI can manage our fleet logistics completely. The shields are stronger than any council technology we have seen, and the new engines could let our ships travel farther and faster than before." Ethan nodded. "Good work, Megan. Remember, we are preparing for independence, not war. We show strength by being ready, not by attacking first." Laura added, "Keep monitoring the frontier colonies. Make sure they have everything they need. Supply lines must remain secure." The human colonies themselves were bustling. On distant planets, humans worked to improve infrastructure, expand agriculture, and reinforce defenses. They built solar farms, water recycling systems, and communication hubs. All of this work was done quietly. The council did not know that the humans were becoming stronger every day. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Council, reports of human activity caused confusion and worry. Alien ambassadors tried to understand what was happening. Some saw strange energy patterns near human space. Some trade ships went missing or returned with damaged logs. No one could explain it. A Zorath delegate spoke during a council session. "We underestimated them," he said quietly. "They left without a fight, but now they are doing things we cannot track. Their technology is changing. Their colonies are growing stronger." Other delegates argued. "Humans are unpredictable," said a small round alien with 4 eyes. "We do not know if they will attack, trade, or isolate themselves. We should send reconnaissance fleets." The council decided to send a small fleet to observe human space. They thought it was a safe option. They believed humanity would not act aggressively, but the humans had already prepared for this possibility. When the council ships approached the Sol frontier, their sensors detected unusual energy signatures. Shields, cloaking systems, and automated defenses were everywhere. One by one, the council ships disappeared from the sensors. Only fragments of messages returned, warnings about entering restricted territory. Back on Earth, Ethan and Laura received the reports. They watched the council fleet disappear. "They ignored our warning," Ethan said. "And now they know humans can protect themselves." Laura nodded. "The frontier colonies are ready. All systems are functional. They cannot touch us without risk." Human society on Earth also changed. Citizens understood that the galaxy might respond, but they trusted their leaders and technology. People volunteered for projects, helped maintain colonies, and trained for defense. Children learned about human history, the galaxy, and the importance of independence. Ethan walked through one of the main command centers on Earth. Screens showed the positions of human fleets, colonies, and stations. Every detail was monitored carefully. He spoke to a young officer, Ryan Clark. "We must stay calm and precise. The galaxy is watching us. If we act carefully, we show strength without aggression." Ryan nodded. "Yes, Admiral. Everything is under control." In space, human ships moved silently. They patrolled borders, tested new engines, and trained crews. The AI systems managed logistics, communications, and energy distribution. Humans were becoming self-sufficient in every sense. On Mars, a group of engineers tested a new quantum shield system. The shield created a strong barrier around ships, capable of deflecting energy weapons and hiding fleets from sensors. Megan Holt watched the test results with excitement. "This is stronger than anything the council has," she said. Ethan and Laura visited the test chamber. Ethan placed a hand on Megan's shoulder. This is not for attack. It is for protection. Our strength will keep us safe and the galaxy will know we are serious. Meanwhile, some alien worlds began noticing the changes. Traders who had dealt with humans reported that human colonies were thriving, new fleets were appearing, and mysterious energy fields surrounded some planets. Fear began to spread quietly. Inside the council, panic started to grow. Delegates realized they had underestimated humans. The vote to punish humanity now seemed reckless. Some members wanted to reach out diplomatically. Others argued for sending a fleet to show force. A small, secretive group of aliens monitored human space closely. They reported that humans were building massive orbital stations, energy shields, and advanced weapons. The humans were not aggressive, but they were prepared for anything. Ethan and Laura reviewed the intelligence reports. They will panic eventually, Ethan said. They always do when humans are ready and they cannot control us. Laura smiled. We are not here to scare them. We are here to survive and grow. That is enough. In the frontier colonies, humans continued to expand. Farms produced more food. Energy stations generated power and research facilities tested new technologies. Supplies were stockpiled, defenses strengthened, and communication systems improved. Ethan visited one of the colonies on a distant planet called Arden. The planet had mountains, forests, and rivers. Humans had built cities that blended with the environment. Children played in parks, farmers tended crops, and engineers tested energy grids. The planet was thriving, independent, and safe. Ethan watched the sunset over Arden. This is why we left the council, he said to Laura. To protect this. To protect humanity. Laura nodded. They do not understand yet. But they will. Back on Earth, President Caroline Drake addressed the public again. We are preparing for independence, not war. Humanity will thrive in the galaxy, but we will do it our way. We will build, protect, and grow, and we will do it without fear. The people cheered. Humanity had made a bold choice. They had left the council, but they were not alone. Their colonies, fleets, and technology were ready. And most importantly, humans had something the council could never predict: their resilience, creativity, and determination. Weeks later, the first reports came from human scouts. Council ships had tried to approach human space and had disappeared. The warnings were clear. Humans had established borders that no one could cross without permission. The galaxy began to understand that humanity had changed. Ethan and Laura watched the reports together. They will be careful now, Laura said. Ethan smiled. They will, and they should be. Humans are ready for whatever comes next. As the stars shone over Earth and the frontier colonies, humans continued their work. Ships moved silently through space. Scientists tested new technology. Engineers maintained energy grids. Children played on distant worlds, unaware of the tension growing in the council chambers. Humanity had walked away from the council. They had chosen independence. And in doing so, they had begun a new chapter in the galaxy, one where humans would no longer be underestimated. Ethan and Laura stood together in the command center, looking at the map of human space. The galaxy does not understand us yet, Ethan said. Laura nodded. And that is our advantage. They think we are weak. They think we are dependent. They are wrong. We are strong, and we are ready. The quiet hum of the command center filled the room. Outside, human fleets moved through the dark, silent stars. Every colony, every ship, every station was a symbol of humanity's determination. The galaxy had panicked the moment humans walked away. But humans had only just begun. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Humanity would survive. Humanity would grow, and humanity would thrive on its own terms. Months passed since humanity walked away from the Galactic Council. The stars around human space seemed quiet, but inside the council, unease grew. The alien delegates could no longer ignore what was happening. Reports kept coming. Trade ships that once moved easily between human colonies and other worlds were now missing or delayed. Colony outposts had expanded faster than the council expected. Strange energy signatures appeared near the frontier. The council had thought that leaving humans alone would make them weak. They had been wrong. In the council chambers, a meeting was called. Delegates from every major species gathered. The room was tense. The Zorath ambassador, tall and glowing, leaned forward. We underestimated them, he said quietly. Their technology is growing. Their fleets are stronger. And they are not communicating with us. We do not know their next move. A smaller alien, round and with 4 eyes, shook its head. We cannot reach them. They have blocked our signals, and they do not respond to requests for negotiation. We may have created a problem we cannot control. The discussion went on for hours. Some delegates wanted to send a fleet to force humans back into the council. Others suggested sending diplomats to offer new terms. But each option seemed risky. They are not reckless, said one voice. They are organized, patient, and strong. Any aggressive move could backfire. Meanwhile, human space was calm. On Earth, President Caroline Drake oversaw daily operations. She met with Ethan Cole and Laura Miles to review intelligence from the frontier colonies. Our colonies are self-sufficient, she said. Fleets are ready, research is ongoing, and energy systems are fully operational. We are not hiding, but we are prepared. Ethan nodded. The Council thinks they can control us. They do not understand our capabilities. That is their mistake. Laura added, Our people are ready. Everyone knows what to do if the Council tries anything. At one of the frontier colonies on Arden, engineers tested new ships. The vessels were sleek, fast, and capable of traveling farther than any human ship before. They were equipped with quantum engines that allowed near-instant travel between distant systems. AI managed every system, from shields to weapons, but humans were always in command. Megan Holt, the lead scientist, watched the tests carefully. These ships can outmaneuver anything the Council has, she said, and the energy shields are stronger than any weapon they could use. Ethan smiled. We do not want to fight. We want to survive and grow, but if we must defend ourselves, we will be ready. The Council decided to send a small reconnaissance fleet into human space. They thought it was safe. They assumed humans would not react aggressively to a small number of ships. But when the Council fleet approached the Sol frontier, something unexpected happened. Their sensors detected massive energy barriers around human colonies. Automated AI systems identified the incoming fleet and issued warnings. You are entering restricted territory. The Council ships ignored the warnings. One by one, they vanished from sensor readings. Some were destroyed by defensive energy fields. Others were forced to retreat, their engines damaged. Fragments of logs returned to the Council, showing only the warnings from human AI. Panic spread quickly through the Council chambers. Delegates whispered among themselves. They are stronger than we thought, one said. We cannot challenge them. The Zorath ambassador slammed his clawed hand on the table. We must act now. They are not our allies anymore. They are independent. And if we do not respect their space, we risk losing everything. But others disagreed. A direct attack could provoke them, said a small, 4-eyed alien. We do not know the limits of their technology. Humanity is patient, disciplined, and dangerous. We should negotiate, not fight. Inside human space, fleets continued training quietly. AI managed the logistics of hundreds of ships. Engineers repaired vessels, tested shields, and monitored energy systems. Every colony had emergency supplies. Every fleet had detailed instructions. Humans were ready for defense, but not for aggression. Ethan and Laura traveled between colonies, checking on progress. On Arden, they watched human ships perform maneuvers near the asteroid belt. The AI allowed ships to fold space quickly, avoid obstacles, and maintain perfect formation. Humans controlled the decisions, but the AI handled the details. Laura turned to Ethan. They think we are weak. They believe we need them. They are wrong. Humanity has never been weaker or stronger than now. Ethan nodded. Patience is our strength. They will panic eventually. And when they do, we will not strike. We will only protect ourselves. In the council chambers, some members began to suggest diplomacy. A few lesser species were worried about trade shortages. Humanity had stopped sending advanced medical nanites, rare metals, and energy devices. The shortage affected dozens of worlds. The council began sending messages. Diplomatic requests, trade proposals, and peaceful warnings were sent to human space. but none were answered. Humanity had gone silent. On Earth, Caroline Drake read the messages with her advisors. "They expect us to respond," she said. "But we will not. Our colonies are thriving. Our fleets are ready. We do not need their approval or their trade. Let them understand our strength." Ethan added, "Silence is a message. It shows that we are independent. It shows that we are capable." Laura monitored the AI systems controlling the frontier colonies. "Everything is stable," she said. "Energy, supplies, shields, fleets. We are ready for any situation. The Council cannot surprise us." Meanwhile, the Council tried to investigate the strange energy signals. Their scientists and engineers could not identify the technology. Human AI systems were advanced beyond what they had ever seen. Energy shields, cloaked fleets, and rapid repairs made human defenses almost invisible. A small group of Council scientists visited the Sol frontier in secret. They observed human colonies from a distance. The findings alarmed them. Humans were not hiding. They were thriving. Their colonies were growing. Their technology was far beyond what anyone had expected. One Zorath scientist whispered to his colleagues, "They are ready for everything. We cannot underestimate them. The moment we thought humans were weak, they were building strength in silence." Back on Earth, Ethan and Laura discussed the situation. "The Council will panic eventually," Ethan said. "They cannot control us. They will try, but they will fail." Laura smiled. "And we do not need to act first. Humanity's power lies in being prepared, not in striking." In the frontier colonies, people went about their daily lives. Children played in parks, farmers tended crops, and engineers repaired machines. Life seemed peaceful, but behind the scenes humans had prepared for every possible threat. AI monitored fleets, energy grids, and communication systems. Every colony was connected. Every ship was ready. The Council, on the other hand, was in chaos. Trade routes were disrupted, supplies were missing, and political tension grew. Delegates blamed each other for underestimating humans. Some began to fear rebellion within their own ranks. Ethan and Laura continued to travel between colonies. On Arden, they watched engineers test a new defense system. Energy shields rose around a colony, bending light and making ships invisible to distant sensors. Drones monitored every approach. Humans were invisible, but powerful. Megan Holt, observing, the test said, "The Council will not understand this until it is too late. We have created something they cannot control." Ethan nodded. "Good. That is exactly what we need. Strength without aggression, defense without war. Humanity must be prepared to survive and nothing else." Meanwhile, the Council debated. Some delegates wanted to send diplomats again. Others argued for a fleet to show authority. But the small reconnaissance missions had already failed. Council ships could not enter human space without risk. The panic grew quietly but steadily. Trade shortages worsened. Some species considered leaving the Council entirely. Others debated forming new alliances with humans. The galaxy was shifting. In human space, fleets moved silently between colonies. AI managed every detail, but humans remained in control. Communication systems ensured that every colony, ship, and station could share information instantly. Humanity had created a self-sufficient network stronger than any Council system. Ethan and Laura walked along a balcony in a colony on Arden. They looked at the stars. "They do not understand us," Ethan said. Laura nodded. "And that is our advantage. We are ready for anything, but they do not know it yet." Ethan smiled. "Patience. The Council will learn the hard way. Humanity does not need to strike first. We only need to be ready." As night fell on the frontier colonies, humans went about their work. Scientists tested engines, engineers maintained energy grids, and fleets practiced maneuvers. Every colony, every ship, every person contributed to the strength of humanity. The Galactic Council had begun to panic, but humans remained calm. Their preparation, discipline, and intelligence created a silent power that no one could ignore. The galaxy was changing, and humans were leading the way without even raising their voices. Ethan and Laura watched from the command center as reports came in from every frontier colony. Every system was functional. Every fleet was accounted for. Humanity was no longer dependent on the Council. Humanity was independent. The stars above human space were quiet, but they glowed with potential. Humanity had walked away, prepared and patient. The silence of human space had lasted for nearly a year. The Galactic Council watched from afar, unsure of what to do. Every day brought new reports. Human colonies expanding, fleets training, energy signatures appearing in unexpected locations. It was clear humanity had grown stronger. Inside the council chambers, tension filled the air. Delegates argued constantly. Some demanded action while others warned against it. "We cannot negotiate with them," said a Zorath delegate. "They have ignored all our messages. They are no longer part of the council. They have chosen their own path," a small round alien with 4 eyes added. "And that path is dangerous. Humanity is stronger than we imagined. Any attempt to force them back could lead to disaster, but the council had to act." Trade was disrupted. Supply chains failed. Human technology was no longer available to the galaxy. Medical nanites, energy devices, rare metals, everything humans produced had been cut off. Economies suffered. The panic within the council grew. Meanwhile, humans prepared quietly. On Earth, President Caroline Drake met with Ethan Cole, Laura Miles, and other senior leaders. They reviewed reports from the frontier colonies and the fleets. "Our colonies are thriving," Caroline said. "All systems are operational. Energy grids are stable. Fleets are ready. AI systems are monitoring every approach. We have everything we need," Ethan nodded. "The Council believes they can control us. They cannot. They think we will panic or attack. We will do neither. We only need to protect ourselves," Laura added. "And we have done that. Every colony, every fleet, every station is prepared for any threat. We are strong, but we remain calm." At the frontier colonies, engineers tested advanced energy shields. Ships were equipped with new engines capable of near-instant travel. AI managed logistics, repairs, and communications. Humans remained in control, but the machines handled details with precision. Megan Holt, leading one of the testing teams, spoke to Ethan and Laura. "These ships are faster and stronger than anything the Council has seen. Shields are near perfect. AI can detect threats before they reach us. Humans are safe," Ethan smiled. "Good, that is all we need. We do not seek war. We only seek to survive and grow." Meanwhile, the first human fleet in over a year left the Sol system. Its mission was not aggressive. It carried diplomats, scientists, and observers, but its ships were powerful. Sleek, silver, and silent, they moved with precision. AI controlled the fleet's movements, but humans made every decision. The fleet approached Helion Prime, the heart of the Galactic Council. It transmitted a simple message requesting docking clearance. For hours there was no response. Then finally the Council granted permission, curious and cautious. From the fleet stepped Admiral Ryan Keller. He had trained for years in fleet command, diplomacy, and strategy. He walked into the council chambers calm and composed. Delegates stared, unsure how to react. Keller spoke slowly. "I represent the United Human Coalition. Humanity has chosen independence. We no longer belong to the Council. We will not fight unless forced. We will not negotiate unless approached as equals." The room fell silent. No one spoke. Some delegates whispered. Others looked at each other in disbelief. A Zorath delegate finally broke the silence. "You expect us to accept this? You leave the Council, cut trade, and ignore our messages. And now you send an envoy to demand recognition." Keller shook his head. "We are not here to demand. We are here to inform. Humanity is independent. Our colonies thrive. Our fleets are ready. We have nothing more to say. We do not need approval or guidance." The message spread quickly across the galaxy. Other species began to see the change. Humans were no longer part of the Council. They were strong, organized, and self-sufficient. Some species feared the consequences. Others saw an opportunity to ally with humans. Inside the Council, panic grew. Delegates argued about the fleet's power, human technology, and independence. "We underestimated them," said one voice. "They are far stronger than we imagined. They could resist any attack. Any interference could be disastrous." Other delegates worried about trade and alliances. "If humans continue this way, our economy will collapse," said a 4-eyed alien. "We cannot survive without their technology. We must find a way to work with them, or we will fail. Back in human space, Ethan and Laura oversaw the arrival of the fleet. They coordinated docking, supplies, and communications. Everything went smoothly. The fleet's presence was not meant to intimidate, but to show capability. Humans were calm and organized, but their power was clear. In the council chambers, debates continued. Some members suggested forming a new alliance with humans. Others feared rebellion among their own species if they showed weakness. Panic spread quietly but steadily. The council had lost control. Admiral Keller returned to the fleet and spoke with Ethan and Laura. They are panicking. They do not know how to respond, but we will not act aggressively. Our power is in our preparation and patience. We control our destiny, not them. Laura nodded. Exactly. Humans are safe. We show strength without provocation. That is what they cannot understand. In the frontier colonies, new ships tested advanced propulsion systems. Energy shields were improved. AI systems managed logistics and fleet movements. Every colony, station, and ship was linked. Humans had created a self-sufficient network stronger than any council system. Megan Holt observed the tests and said, "They think humans are isolated. They think humans cannot act. They are wrong. Humanity is ready for anything." Ethan smiled. "And that is all we need. Patience and preparation, nothing more." The Galactic Council tried again to send messages, trade proposals, and diplomatic requests. Every attempt was ignored. Humans did not respond. They did not need to. Their actions spoke louder than words. Human colonies continued to thrive. Farmers, engineers, scientists, and children lived normal lives. Cities grew, energy systems improved, and fleets trained silently in orbit. Life seemed peaceful, but behind the scenes, humans had prepared for every possible threat. Ethan walked through a colony on Arden. He watched children play, farmers work, and engineers test energy grids. Everything was in order. "This is why we left the council," he said to Laura. "To protect this. To protect humanity," Laura nodded. "They do not understand yet, but they will." In the council, some delegates began to suggest diplomacy again. Others wanted to show force, but reconnaissance fleets had already failed. Council ships could not enter human space safely. Panic spread quietly. The first signs of human technology superiority became clear. Council scientists observed that humans had energy shields capable of deflecting attacks, AI systems that managed fleets efficiently, and propulsion engines far beyond Council capabilities. Humans were calm, but their power was undeniable. Ethan and Laura watched the reports together. "They will panic eventually," Ethan said. "And when they do, we do nothing. We only protect ourselves," Laura smiled. "Exactly. That is humanity's strength. Preparation and patience, not aggression." In human space, fleets moved silently through the stars. AI managed every detail, but humans remained in control. Communication systems ensured that every colony, ship, and station could share information instantly. Humanity had created a network stronger than any council system. The Galactic Council had begun to panic. Trade routes were disrupted. Supply chains failed. Diplomatic relationships weakened. Some species considered leaving the council. Others looked to humanity for alliances. Ethan and Laura walked on the balcony of a colony on Arden. They looked at the stars. "They do not understand us," Ethan said. Laura nodded. "And that is our advantage. Humans are ready. They do not strike first. They only protect themselves." As night fell on the frontier colonies, human activity continued. Scientists tested engines, engineers maintained energy grids, and fleets practiced maneuvers. Every colony, every ship, every person contributed to humanity's strength. The Galactic Council had begun to panic. Humans remained calm, prepared, and organized. Humanity's independence had consequences that the Council had not expected. And the galaxy was beginning to understand that humans could no longer be underestimated. Ethan and Laura watched the reports from the command center. Every system was functional. Every fleet accounted for. Humanity was no longer dependent on the Council. Humanity was independent. The stars above human space shone quietly. Humanity had walked away, prepared and patient. And soon the Council would feel the full consequences of underestimating a species determined to survive, grow, and thrive on its own. Months had passed since humanity quietly prepared its independence. The Galactic Council had tried diplomacy, reconnaissance, and even subtle threats. Nothing had worked. Humans were calm, organized, and fully self-sufficient. The galaxy had underestimated them, and now it would see the consequences. On Earth, President Caroline Drake met with Ethan Cole, Laura Miles, and Admiral Ryan Keller. Maps of human space glowed on the holographic table. Every colony, every fleet, every station was tracked in real time. Humans had built a network of power, knowledge, and defense that no Council fleet could challenge openly. "Our systems are fully operational," Caroline said. "The frontier colonies are thriving. Fleets are ready. AI manages logistics, and energy shields protect every colony. We are prepared for any outcome." Ethan leaned forward. "They will panic when they see our full capabilities. But we do not strike first. We only protect ourselves and make our independence clear." Laura nodded. "Humanity's strength is patience. We do not need war to show power. The galaxy will notice without a single attack." At the same time, human fleets began moving strategically, not for aggression but for demonstration. Ships traveled near the frontier, then folded space suddenly to appear in other sectors. Automated AI systems managed all movements flawlessly, but humans were always in control. Council delegates watched in alarm. Alien ambassadors sent urgent messages to each other. Some feared trade collapse, others feared rebellion. Humans had disrupted the established order, and no one could stop them. Admiral Keller led a fleet near Helion Prime again. This time it was a carefully planned show of presence. The fleet transmitted a simple message to the Council. Humanity is independent. We are capable. We will not be controlled. We protect ourselves and our colonies. The Council panicked. Delegates argued about what to do. Some wanted to send fleets. Others wanted to negotiate. But no one could agree. The panic was clear. Humans had forced them into indecision. Inside human colonies, life continued normally. Farmers worked in fields, children played, engineers maintained equipment, and scientists tested new technologies. Humanity's strength was not only in its fleets and shields, but in its ability to maintain calm while others panicked. Ethan and Laura visited one of the largest frontier colonies, Arden. The planet had mountains, rivers, and forests. Humans had built cities that blended with nature. Children played in parks, and engineers tested new energy systems. Life was peaceful, but the preparation was unmatched. Megan Holt, supervising a fleet exercise, spoke to them. "They think humans are isolated. They believe we are weak. They are wrong. Every colony, every fleet, every AI system is ready. The galaxy will see our independence and strength soon." Ethan nodded. "Good, that is all we need. Humans will survive and thrive, but we remain calm. That is our advantage." Back on Helion Prime, the Council convened an emergency meeting. Delegates shouted over each other. Trade was disrupted. Some species considered leaving the Council. Reports of human fleets appearing suddenly in distant sectors had caused fear. "We underestimated them," a Zorath delegate yelled. "They are stronger than anything we imagined. They can appear anywhere. They have defenses no one can penetrate. We cannot control them." Other delegates tried to calm the room. "Perhaps we should negotiate," one said. "Offer them terms. Try to restore trade and order. We cannot afford conflict," but it was too late. The humans had already taken control of their own destiny. They did not need approval or guidance. Their colonies were thriving, fleets were powerful, and AI systems ensured that every human outpost was secure. Ethan and Laura observed all this from the command center on Earth. "They finally see what we have built," Ethan said. "But we do not act aggressively. We only show our strength," Laura smiled. "That is humanity's advantage. Patience, preparation, and calm. We protect ourselves, we thrive. They cannot stop us." Meanwhile, human fleets continued moving strategically. Ships folded space instantly to appear in unexpected locations. Energy shields projected over colonies and ships made them invisible to most Council sensors. AI systems managed communication and fleet coordination perfectly. The galaxy could see human strength without a single attack. Council fleets tried to approach human space again, but each attempt failed. Ships encountered invisible energy barriers, automated AI warnings, and maneuverable fleets that could appear anywhere. Every failure increased panic. Inside the Council chambers, some delegates suggested negotiating again. Others were terrified of appearing weak. The discussions grew heated. Humans had forced the Council into indecision, and panic spread like wildfire. On Earth, President Drake addressed humanity. "The galaxy has seen that humans are independent. We are prepared for any outcome, but we remain calm. Humanity's power lies not in aggression, but in discipline, preparation, and resilience. We protect our colonies, we thrive on our own, and that is enough. Ethan and Laura monitored reports from frontier colonies. Every system was functional. Fleets were ready. Supplies and energy systems were stable. Humans could survive and grow independently, without interference from the Council. In the Council chambers, a Zorath delegate finally admitted defeat. We cannot challenge them. They are too strong. Any aggression will fail. We have lost control of our influence over humanity. Other delegates nodded reluctantly. Trade shortages worsened. Alliances shifted and the Council's power diminished. Humanity had walked away prepared and independent. The galaxy had no choice but to acknowledge it. Ethan and Laura traveled to the Sol frontier, overseeing fleet maneuvers. Ships folded space and reappeared near distant colonies. AI systems coordinated defenses, logistics, and communication. Humans were calm, prepared, and disciplined. Megan Holt tested a new shield system capable of protecting entire fleets from energy attacks. The Council cannot match this, she said. They will understand soon. Humans are independent, and nothing can stop us, Ethan smiled. Exactly. We do not need to fight. Our independence and preparation are enough. In human colonies, life continued. People worked, played, and studied. Cities grew, energy systems improved, and fleets trained. Humanity's independence was not built on fear, but on resilience and careful planning. The Galactic Council, now aware of human strength, tried diplomacy one final time. They sent envoys with offers to restore trade, technology, and cooperation, but humans listened politely and declined. They had no interest in returning to a system that had tried to control them. President Drake addressed the Council via hologram. Humanity is independent. We do not seek war, but we will not submit to control. Our colonies thrive, our fleets are ready, and our people are prepared. Humanity protects itself, and our future belongs to us alone. Panic spread across the Council. Delegates whispered. Trade routes were disrupted. Alliances shifted. The galaxy had changed. Humans had forced a new order, not through aggression, but through preparation, independence, and strength. Ethan and Laura watched reports from the command center. Humans had achieved what no one expected, full independence and recognition without firing a single shot. They finally understand, Ethan said. Humans are strong. They cannot control us, and they cannot ignore us, Laura nodded. And we never acted aggressively. We only prepared. That is humanity's power. On frontier colonies, fleets moved silently. Energy shields protected ships. AI managed every system. Humans maintained calm discipline, showing the galaxy that independence did not require chaos. The Council was forced to accept it. Humans were independent. Colonies thrived. Fleets were strong. Technology was advanced. And humanity had achieved all of this without war, without rebellion, and without panic. Ethan turned to Laura. Humanity walked away, prepared. And the galaxy finally understood. We did not need to strike. We only needed to survive, grow, and thrive. Laura smiled. Patience, preparation, and calm. That is humanity's way. As the stars shone over Earth and the frontier colonies, humanity's future was secure. Independent, strong, and ready, humans had changed the galaxy. The Council had panicked. Humans had walked away, and the universe had learned a lesson it would never forget. Underestimate humanity at your own risk. The quiet of space returned, but it was a different quiet. A quiet of respect, caution, and realization. Humanity had proven that it could survive, thrive, and lead, not by force but by intelligence, preparation, and courage. Ethan and Laura looked out at the stars one last time. The galaxy has changed, Ethan said. Laura nodded. And humans will thrive. That is all that matters. The future was bright. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, independent, strong, and unafraid. The Galactic Council had panicked the moment humans walked away. And in doing so, humans had shown the galaxy that their true strength had never been in obedience or aggression, but in resilience, preparation, and the will to survive. Humanity had won. Not with weapons, not with war, but with quiet strength, careful planning, and the courage to walk away and claim its own future. The stars above human space glowed brighter that night. They had witnessed a species that would never be underestimated again.